Hello, welcome back to the lovely back room and phone camera. Today we're going to talk about Varusteleka. Quite often you're going to hear me say that I got something from them, or I recommend that you get something from them, or that they made something that I'm talking about. Um, Sometimes people do reach out and ask me who or what I am referring to when I say Varusteleka, so I thought I would clear that up for them here. If you are already familiar, I guess you can stay tuned too, and let's have some fun. Who are they? Varusteleka is a military and outdoors shop from Finland. They got started in 2003 by a man named Valtteri Lindholm, a man with a big fur hat and an even bigger sensor bar. um, he did not like the selection of what he had around him at the time, so he borrowed $1,000, got some German surplus, opened a web shop. 20 years later, in 2022, I think their company pulled in like 23 million euro, something like that. So they are the biggest army shop here in Europe, but they do ship all over the world for a very good price and very fast. So don't worry about that. They have a bunch of stuff to choose from. Everything from that bit of surplus you've been hunting for since you were 10 years old to new stuff hitting that category in the military surplus kind of deal. They have everything you could possibly need, and I mean everything, if you are trying to get outside and go on adventures, or stuff you might need in your everyday life as a civilized city person, if you are, or if you have to pretend to be sometimes. So the three in-house brands are Sadama, Sadama TST, and Tarava. Sadama is all of their cosplay gear for acting like a normal functioning human being, and that is everything that I'm currently wearing. They make very good stuff. This is all made here in Europe. This is very high quality merino wool, and I even made a separate video of how they absolutely changed my life with their clothing products when I'm having to pretend like I'm a normal person during the weekday. During the weekend, or when I'm having fun on working projects that I'm starting to get into, you have Sadama TST, where you can find stuff like this and all of the clothing associated with going and having fun with this. And then you have Tarava, where you can find everything to take care of your needs. So customer service wise, and I'm actually going to tie this in all the way from product description to checking up on you and answering questions. So from product descriptions, this is what brings a lot of people in to the website for the first time when they hear about this, or they're searching for a product and they stumble upon Varusteleka for the first time and they realize these people really know what they're talking about. So they don't copy and paste the description from the manufacturer's website. They will take this piece of whatever it is, they will pull it out, play with it, touch it, throw it, do nasty things with it, all kinds of stuff. And they will write you a usually very humorous and very honest report about exactly if you want it, if you need it, what it can do, and most importantly, if you don't need it, which they will absolutely tell you if you don't. And they might even price accordingly if they figure out that they're sitting on a big piece of shit. Like sometimes they're like, yeah, actually, we're going to take this at a loss. We're going to tell you straight up what it is and, help us get rid of it. So purchasing is just like any other web shop that you're accustomed to. This one's very simple, very fast, very easy. Trying to get your money as fast as possible and as easily as possible, obviously. But my favorite thing about how their website operates is that they have two separate lists. They have the normal shopping cart and they have the wish list. The shopping cart does not disappear. They're doing a couple website updates right now. Like they did a whole big revamp right now, so some things are still kind of getting worked out. So give them a few days to, let the ripples kind of smooth out on that new website. But on a normal functioning day, they have a shopping cart that never clears out and a wish list. So I actually took a few weeks of time to go through the entire website. Like I would take a spare 10 minutes here, there, whatever. I went through the entire website category by category, and I put everything that I could remotely possibly want in the future onto the wish list. I still check the new products page and the restock page just to make sure I'm not missing anything. But I was able to funnel an entire website down to a personalized list for me to pick from whenever I am ready to place an order. But how I end up using that is with their shopping cart that doesn't disappear. If you've seen my videos before, I have mentioned previously I don't have the best memory, and I can be quite impulsive sometimes. I ended up with 4-liter side pockets coming in the mail from Savota that way, and I was like, oh, a present from me. So the shopping cart that doesn't disappear allows me to spend like a few weeks. Like if I know I'm not going to be placing an order until after the 1st, I will, for the few weeks prior to that, I'll be walking down the street and I'll say like, aha, something that would help me in this situation, or something that I just thought of that would help me in something. Let me jump over to the wish list, move that to the cart, or if it's not on the wish list, but I know they have it, go ahead and search that, pop it in the cart. I can see that the price fluctuating as I make my choices throughout those couple weeks, and I can really make a very informed, very well thought out, weeks worked on, and it is never the exact same cart. It's usually not even one product that is the same from the start of like a 3-week to the end of that. It's usually completely different, and I've tossed a bunch of that stuff back in the wish list because I had a chance to think about it. And I just very much appreciate that they operate the website like that. It's just very good for how my personal brain operation goes. So after that, after your purchase, if you have signed up for the website, they popped in your email and you have a password, you have a login, may be able to make the wish list and do all of this stuff. If they noticed that you purchased something like wool, like this sweater here, they'll shoot you an email a little bit later and be like, hey, just wanted to make sure, here's how to take care of your wool. Of course, just as any good business, we're going to throw a couple products at the end of this email saying like, hey, we would recommend this, and we would recommend this, and we know where you can buy them. But that first, big chunky email is just instructions. Hey, wash it this way, make sure you don't do this, and thank you for purchasing wool. By the way, here's a couple things at the end. If you have any questions, concerns, anything goes wrong, or you just can't figure something out, like especially with a bit of surplus, sometimes they can be interesting. They are always there, within a day or two, getting back to you by email. I have never had them take longer than that. During some product releases, during Christmas and during website update, give them a tiny bit of time if they might have a little bit more influx of stuff going on, obviously. But on a, normal March day, like, if I send an email in the morning, sometimes I hear back by, lunchtime. So very good service on that regard. And one thing I do have to say about that is a lot of us find it frustrating in today's world where you're trying to do business with somebody, and no matter how hard you're trying to get through and ask a question, or you have a concern or a return, God forbid, And you realize through this clicking menu or these series of chatbot messages or telephone menu, you're never going to talk to a human being. There is no first step here. Like, it is human being right off the bat. You get an automated message like, hey, we received your message. We're reading it and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. That's the only robot you're ever going to get. And I super appreciate that. Especially because, and I am so sorry, guys, I know you're watching this. My emails can be pretty long sometimes. I used to be a ghostwriter, and it is a very bad habit not to put every bit of information that could possibly fit in there. And having some people be able to answer you and not quite touch on everything that you've said, but at least make it known that they read and understand what you're trying to say, makes me at least feel respected as a human being, which is hard to come across a lot in this world. One thing with the company, as we're talking about people, I have never found a single person, group of people, conglomerate of people, let alone a conglomerate of people under a company banner that I agree with consistently on a daily basis. Their stance on Ukraine, their stance on the environment, their stance on supply chains, their stance on financing, their stance on a lot of, I don't know, I'm gonna sit here and make a political speech, and nobody needs that right now. But I find myself consistently, day in, day out, agreeing with point by point what they say, what they stand by. And if anybody wants anything out there and they ask me, where can I find it? First off, I'm going to tell you the best place where you can find it. Second off, I'm going to tell you that that place is where I want my money to go. If I found that place years ago, I would have saved so much time and frustration and translating and just overall energy for years trying to get some of this stuff, where if I just looked at Varusteleka, they did all of the research for me and came to the same conclusion, and we ended up buying the same thing to have available for our uses. Them to have available to sell, and me to have available to have, you know. It's pretty cool when you guys reach the same conclusion, like, hey, that Corinthia bag, some pretty good stuff. I did years of looking around before I could have just looked at Varusteleka. So, gotta go take care of her baby. He's getting a little bit crazy. Don't worry, grandma's here. But before we go, we're going to talk about articles. There is a section on the website that I very much love. If I have had enough news for the day, I will, if I'm stuck on my phone for, I don't know, if I am sitting in a room with a white chair and I happen to be on my phone, but I don't want to read the news, go check out some articles. You gotta hear that baby over there. So they have everything from packing lists to choosing the right backpack, choosing the right gear. Just gonna open this door. Come on in, baby. Choosing the right gear, putting it all together. Humorous stories about time in the Finnish reserves and having to use the bathroom during a nighttime guard shift. Yeah, pretty good stuff on there. Care for merino wool as well, you'll find there. You will also hear a lot about brutality matches. Yeah, that's you, buddy. That's Danny. So you're also going to hear about brutality matches. So brutality matches, I am going to pick these up. Jesus Christ. So brutality matches are a physical and marksman and mental and everything you could possibly think of competition all wrapped up into one with a brutal scoring system. Yes. What's up, buddy? You good? All right. And they hold the trademark for the matches here in Europe. So if you want to check out some crazy fun and in a very relaxed and human and, I don't know, just pretty chill group of people, check out Brutality matches. You know, watching videos from those matches, you find it's a big social club that happens to also be shooting when they're not talking. So if I have to leave you guys with something, it would be definitely check out Varusteleka if you have not already. It is a place that I can recommend to you for not only their benefit, but for your benefit. I guarantee that. And for all of my friends at Varusteleka, I wish you all the best in total world domination. Yeah, and that's about it. My thinker brain is not doing any thinking because, you know, baby. All right, I'll see you guys later. Folks at Varusteleka, thank you for everything. You guys are amazing. You'll see me in about 10 minutes buying an orange hat. I'll write you an order note. It's fun. Okay, bye-bye.